are 5, yeah? Just now too fast already. Duties of principal to agent important. Luckily, we are on the ground floor. Otherwise, I want to jump down from the floor. This one I said 10 times already. Chapter 5 focus on duties of agent. Duties of principal only that few. You need to pay only ma. What else? You cannot prevent your agent from making money, making commissions only ma. Those are so simple. Nothing for me to test you, right? Do the possible action by securities actions can be excluded? That means that is the consequences, right? That means that you will be fined how much, right? Yes. Why do you want to care about what securities commission is going to do with the money, right? Eventually, it doesn't come to your pocket lah. Chapter 12 focus on what? Or what can exclude? Chapter 12, huh? Chapter 12 is in your chapter, it will be in your section A, right? So section A is 10 sub-questions. So basically, it's only a general understanding lah, most of the things. Yeah, if you can explain, like for example, what are the markets available on Bursa, right? What's the meanings of listing? What's stock market? All this. What's the requirements for listed company? All this lah, okay? I cannot remember everything lah. Chapter 10 prospectus can safely exclude. Other than that, the rest is important, right? Yes, correct. So chapter 10 very little only ma, right? The main part of the prospectus already chopped off for you already, right? Already many oh. Can I do a conclusion for these 3 offenses like this? Wait, trading, using insider info to trade, procuring, ask someone to purchase. Not only purchase, procuring can be inclusive of selling as well. It all depending on what's the effect of the share, what's the effect of the insider information is going to be have on the share price. Normally, if the effect is going to resulting to the share price drop, we actually want to sell. When the result is actually going to cause the share price to go up, normally we want to buy, right? So yeah. So if you use the words purchase only, that means it's not inclusive of everything. You should say trading or buy or sell the shares. Okay? This is what I say in your exam, right? When you use your own words to explain the law, make sure you include all the important elements, right? The words is trading. Trading means buy or sell. If you say purchase only means you already excluded the selling part. That means you don't get full marks already. Okay? Tipping off is communication. Now, again, communication itself doesn't carry any meaning. Communicate what? I'm also communicating to you now. Am I tipping off? No, but just saying something, that is also communication. So you need to be very specific. Remember, this is degree paper. This is no longer diploma paper. So you should actually say tipping off means communicating the insider informations which this insider know the other person will actually trade or procure another person to trade. So you'll see sections 1 and sub 3 has a lot of elements. That are the elements that you should not be forget about. Okay? What else? Yes, correct. Defense for chapter 13 don't have, right? No need lah. Chapter 10 important or can skip? Important, my dear. Is that sections a focus on cheese and CETA? Yes, correct. So sections A, chapter 10 and chapter 12. Section B, chapter 4, 5, 6, 7, 13. Okay? Very, very, very narrow already. Yeah. Impossible to narrow more already. Okay? How am I supposed to answer these questions? You think I'm God? I can remember in the 1824 what's that? Please, I'm not God. I'm still a human. Huh? Sorry, I don't get the question. Chapter 7, I already narrowed down, right? Meaning that if the insider telling someone who have no knowledge means this is no considered as tipping off, right? No. Insider tipping off, of course, means you are sharing the information to someone who doesn't have this knowledge, right? But all the important thing is whether this person has the intentions to buy or sell, or this person would actually ask someone to buy or sell or not. So you see the wording that you explain is very important, yeah? Otherwise the whole meaning is different. Alright? Can I take picture of summary of insider trading again from your mentee? Can. Wait Actually, right, if you join me in the mentee, you can directly screenshot from your device, it's clearer, right? So you must be smart lah. You are all young generation, you should know how to use all this. You should be better than me on doing all this, right? Okay? Okay? Can I move on? Not ready yet? 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. I don't want to answer questions anymore. I'm going to die. Okay. That's why wait. Can you explain from bottom to top so that no one is going to ask you 100 times? Oh, good suggestion. But this mentee, this mentee is very stupid. Yeah, I feel like I paid for nothing and then a lot of things I cannot do. How to answer sections 8? Okay, I like to answer this kind of question. These are the real questions that you're asking lah, you. Okay, so in your final exam, right, now you already know your coursework marks, yeah? Your coursework marks is 50% from your test and your assignment, right? So another 50% will come from your final exam. Final exam is one paper with 100 marks. So it will then divide into 2, then add up with your coursework marks. That will be your final grading, right? Now, so the format again is sections A and sections B. Sections A have 10 sub-questions, 4 marks each. No need ILAC. So straight away answer the question. Now, in your chapter 12 tutorial, you see your chapter 12 tutorial are all the questions that doesn't need ILAC, right? You answer the questions directly, right? So that is how you're going to answer the questions. Okay, so very straightforward. And bear in mind, it's only 4 marks, yeah? Because you have only 2 hours in your final exam later. Okay, you need to plan yourself, plan your time yourself carefully. You need to do very quickly. Generally, I think you don't really have time to go to washroom. So better go before you enter into the exam hall and don't come late. If you late, basically, you miss out a lot of time. So you need to start writing immediately, yeah? Now, sections where you know you have 3 case study questions. Each question is 20 marks. This is where you should use ILAC to answer the question. Unless the sub-questions is carried less than 6 marks, then no need ILAC. Otherwise, rule of thumb, use issue, law, applications, and conclusions to answer the question. Okay? Especially issue. Issue, we want to give you 1 mark bonus mark. It's up to you whether you want to take it or not, right? If you don't want, it's up to you. Okay? So basically that is it. So this is on your final exam format. Now, if you want to know how the questions looks like, you can go to the library. The past year questions is all there. But let me tell you, don't need to pray for the same questions coming up from your past year. The case study will certainly be different one, right? Okay? So you may want to time yourself. Sections A, spend about 35 minutes. And then sections B, spend about 25 to 30 minutes each. So that will be means what? You need to time yourself. If you see time's up, if you're still struggling on the same questions, you should move on to another question. Because why? A 20 marks questions, you write 10 pages for me, you will still get maximum 20 marks only. Right? So don't struggle, don't waste your time. And I always say this, I think some of the students actually learn this lesson. If you are not sure whether to bring in certain sections or not, especially sometimes you actually already written it. If you already written it, what do you do? If you have doubts whether to include it or exclude it, don't do anything. Just leave it there. Okay? Don't cross it. A lot of time, the sections that you cross it eventually is the answer that we are looking for. And then when you second guess, you second guess yourself, you have doubts on yourself, you actually decided to cross off the one that is correct. And what your examiner can do, your examiner cannot do anything to help you to uncross it, unfortunately. Sometimes you look at the answer, we will be like, okay, we wish we can help you to uncross it, but we can't, right? So, don't need to cross it, because why? If the section is relevant, we will give you marks. If the section is not relevant, we will not give you marks. Just as simple as that, right? So don't need to cross it off. But of course, when you have a lot of sections that is irrelevant, you don't expect your answer going to be A+ lah, right? But at least you won't fail, right or not? Okay, so that's the difference, yeah? Okay? So if you are struggling to decide whether to bring in these sections or not to bring in that sections, my advice is don't spend too much time on thinking about that. Just write it. Okay? Just write it. Alright, okay? So now you know, plan yourself, time yourself, you have 2 hours only. And some students, always students will be like too smart. They are thinking about how to make themselves just pass enough. Some students are that lazy, and then they are hoping that by answering 2 questions they can pass. My experience, if you don't answer all 4 questions, chances are you're going to see me next semester. Okay? So you need to answer all the questions. Alright? Okay? Remember that, yeah? So answer all questions. Alright? Now, of course, this is a law paper. We all expect you to support your answer either with sections or case law. Alright? Now, of course, for your sections A, some of the explanations, if you don't have sections, that is fine. Certain explanations, we don't have sections. For example, if you talk about the 3 markets available, there is no specific sections, right? That is fine. Okay? And one thing very important is, when you bring in the act itself, you must write if this is contract act. Either you write in full contract act, or if you are lazy, you write CA 1950. The year is very important here, because when you write CA, I don't know, are you referring to Contract Act or Companies Act? If you want, you can write Companies Act, just like this. If you don't want to write Companies Act, you want to write CA, make sure 2016 is there. Okay? For Capital Market and Services Act, CMSA is fine, because this one we have only one. Yeah. So remember, after every section that you brings in, which law, which act you are referring to, you must include. Okay. Otherwise, if you say sections 20, section 20 is of which act? We learn 3 acts here, so you totally won't get any marks for that. Okay. So make sure you write which act is it. Now, which act is it? Very easy. Chapter 4 and Chapter 5 is Contract Act. Chapter 6 to Chapter 9 is Companies Act. Chapter 10 to Chapter 13 are CMSA, right? Now, some sections number is not very important. So if let's say, for example, we say private company transfer of shares shall be restricted under sections 42 sub 2. If you only write sections 42, you will still get full marks. We won't penalize you for not bringing in subsections 2. Okay? So you don't need to kill yourself too much. Especially some sections, yeah? There are subsections 2, subsections A, subsection blah, blah, blah. So many subsections, right? So you don't need to kill yourself on that. Important thing is you want to see you understand the law. Right? So explanation is always important. Some of you already learned this lesson, yeah? Don't just write the sections number or the case name. without explaining what is the sections or case about. If you do that, 0 marks. Alright? So you must explain what is it. Okay? Now, again, you don't need to use the sections or case words word for word. Doesn't matter. But important thing is the meaning must be the same. And the importance elements must be there. You cannot change. Like just now you see, when we talk about procurement, you will say ask another person to buy. Then this is not the whole elements really. You are asking another person to buy or sell the shares. Yeah, so this is important, right? Now, so yeah, okay, I think all this we covers already lah, huh? And application is conclusions is always important, yeah. This is degree paper. Applications and conclusions is always important. Alright? You want to see how you can relate back to the case study. So this is also something that you shouldn't miss out. Alright? Case law. I think this one from day one I already say, some of you still very confused. The year when the case is being decided, not important lah, don't kill yourself. Okay? If you ask me some cases also, I don't know which years it was decided, right? Now, second thing, you can choose to just tell me either party's name. We will accept it. Okay? To be fair lah, I know you all have limited brain power these days. I don't know how much is your gig in your brain. Maybe not even 1 gig, right? So I don't know. So some students find it very, very, very challenging, right? So for example, in Gan Boon Aun case, if you tell me in Gan Boon Aun case like this, we will accept it. Alright? But you don't tell me in Busan Malaysia case lah. Busan Malaysia sue so many people, right? How would I know which Busan Malaysia case you are talking about? So use the name that is more special. Alright? If you do like this, yeah, only case name, no explanation, even very nicely, come in with the year somehow, 0 marks. Because I don't know what you understand from this case. We are not testing just your memory, we are testing your understanding. Okay? Alright, and last but not least, your student dress code. We don't want to stop you from sitting your exam or need to write a report, yeah, to the disciplinary committee because of your dress code. Alright, when you come to classes, most of your lecturers will close one eye, we don't care. But when it comes to final exam, there is a strict instructions here. If you don't wear proper dress code, you will be subject to disciplinary. Alright, so make sure you wear proper. Okay, yes, ladies and gentlemen.